Finally, after yet another break, chapter 132 is here, and we got a very interesting revelation. Mainly at the end of the chapter at least, so I'll just get started with the chapter. It opens with Kana playing the role of Nino, as she says she's always smiling. To be honest though, I still need to get used to Kana with long hair, but she looks pretty happy as she's performing on stage for the film alongside Ai, who's played by Ruby. And once again though, I can't keep saying it enough, but Ruby really looks just like Ai. However, there is someone in this chapter who notices that something might be off, just a little bit. But after the performances are finished, and as they seem to be greeting the viewers, Akane as Takamine starts talking a bit crazy. It's subtle, but she's like saying stuff like, I can't live without her, and can't get married with that attitude. Meanwhile, all Kana can do is watch, thinking that both Ruby and Akane are beautiful, and have the popularity to go with it. She doesn't want them to take what belongs to her too. But then we cut right to the actual Takamine holding a baby. Obviously, Takamine is much older now, and wonders if she really acts the way Akane portrays her. However, she also says that the words she told were 100% just words of affection. She's just very blunt it seems. I suppose we have no choice but to believe her as well. Takamine even drags over the actual Nino too. It's pretty cool to get to see some of the OG members of Bikomachi again, especially on set. It must definitely feel a bit weird to see someone else attempting to be you in a film though. Takamine seems excited though, especially for Nino, saying that it's such an honor to be played by such a beautiful person. Kana tries to say it's not like that, while Akane just giggles on the side. Memcho also makes an appearance saying that it's such an honor to have the previous Bikomachi group visit them. Takamine does try to downplay it by saying they're just some random middle-aged woman who came by and interrupted them. Meanwhile, Aka and Ruby are standing in the corner, having some sweet alone time together. Well, it's actually just Aka wondering if Ruby's gonna go over there and greet them. Ruby already greeted them though, although she didn't seem to be too excited to do so. Aka believed that Ruby, or I suppose Serena as well, is a fan. While she does like Bikomachi, that doesn't mean she has a favorite member, besides her mother I presume. If it wasn't already clear where Ruby is going with this, she didn't really like the original members all that much. But she would have been hyped if it was Meimei or Kyunpan, but it wasn't them. Ruby also brings up something pretty interesting, the relationship between Ai and Bikomachi. We then see Kana herself go sit next to Nino to ask her questions to use for reference. I think it should be noted that Nino also hasn't seemed all that enthusiastic to be there. Kana thinks getting some info directly from the source could help her study for her role better, something which she points out Akane is very good at. Kana then makes it clear to Nino that she does not want to lose to Akane. Nino seems to get slightly interested after hearing this and asks if they are rivals. Kana says that it does sort of feel that way. I mean, I kinda see them as rivals too, so interestingly, Nino says that's good since there wasn't any sort of rivalry in Bikomachi apparently. Ai was the star of the group and the one who stood at center stage. Nino believed that no one could hope to become Ai's rival. Thanks to Ai though, they did get a bit of attention. They worked hard in their own way, but it was still tough. As she says that though, Kana can tell something is up, and she just straight up asks Nino if she disliked Ai. Nino does say that she knew Ai was doing her best and she never complained about doing hard work even though she was always busy. There was no jealousy. However, by the look on her face in this panel, there was something more to it. Nino says that she did hate Ai. She said it loud and clear, that she hated her, and Nino literally told Ai to her face that she wanted her to disappear from the world forever. That's crazy. Nino does break down to tears as she says this, showing that she does have some regret and remorse. Those words, those moments, have yet to disappear from her memory. They probably will never disappear. Memories that will haunt Nino for the rest of her life. We even get a mini flashback of the actual incident where Nino went off on Ai. Even when Nino said all these things to Ai, she was still trying to love Nino. And honestly, Ai's look here is chillin'. Like this shit's normal for her, left alone by her mother and then verbally abused by her co-stars. Nino continues to cry, and you know who was listening the whole time? Ruby. She actually walks up to Nino after hearing the truth directly from the source. Ruby asks if Nino regrets what she said, and Nino says that she does regret it. Now this part is actually pretty important. Ruby stays quiet for a second, before her expression changes to a more, I guess, carefree one. She tells Nino that it's all good, and that she doesn't care anymore. In fact, she was just kidding. At first it doesn't sound like anything too crazy, but to Nino, she looks like she has just been enlightened or something cause she starts chuckling like some maniac. Like look at Nino's face bro, she looks crazy. And it's like Nino starts talking to herself as she says that. It is indeed quite different. The real I would not say such things. To Nino, I would just look over it. She would not be fazed by her words in the slightest, unlike Ruby, who clearly felt some sort of way, even if she won't admit it. Nino believes I wouldn't have even bothered to remember her words. As Nino walks away, she says that I is the strongest and most invincible idol there is. And the last thing she says is thank goodness. Ruby is a total fake. Crazy. Now she's certain Ruby is not I, and can never become I in her eyes. But why does this matter? You'll see at the end. But first, Kana is relieved. She also realized how deranged Nino seemed to be, and screams, realizing she has to play that person from now on. Sucks for Kana. I'll roll, and also this face she makes here is hilarious. But lastly, we see Nino again outside, this time on the phone talking with someone. She says that there was a difference, most likely talking about Ruby, which is pretty much confirmed when she mentions I, and how someone like her can never appear again. There's no way she'd ever forgive a person who surpasses I, not even her own daughter. And the chapter ends with Nino asking Hikaru himself if he feels the same way. Could Hikaru forgive his own daughter if she could surpass I? I think it's fairly safe to say that the answer to that is he will not. Maybe for Hikaru, he would not allow anyone to surpass I either, even his own daughter. And you know what? That would have been the perfect motive for Hikaru to kill Yura. After all, Yura was like the most popular actress in Japan before she was murdered. She was one of the brightest stars in the country. She even had her own starring gun, like I. And you know what? Hikaru killed her. Perhaps Hikaru could not allow anyone to surpass I. In his eyes, I is the brightest star, and also the one he could not have. Maybe that's why he killed I too. If Hikaru could not have I, no one else could. But he was so obsessed with I's star power, he wanted her place to be immortalized forever. For Hikaru, I will always be at the top, and he will do his best to make sure it stays that way forever. At least, that's just a possible theory I have. What do y'all think though? Does Hikaru kill people who have the potential to surpass I? Was Hikaru gonna kill Ruby if Nino believed she was just like I? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. This chapter really gave us some more knowledge about Hikaru in a very unexpected way, and definitely set the stage for him to make an appearance very soon. Thankfully, there's no break next week too. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Peace.